Hello, my friends, and welcome to Space Engineers. I've been dying to make a series in this game, but it's taken me quite a while to actually learn how to play, and what the best settings are, and all that good stuff. But I thought I'd go ahead and get started, and to do that, I'm going to create a new world. And to go to Custom World, you can go to Quick Start. The only problem with Quick Start is it puts you on a planet with a crap ton of pre-made stuff, and it feels almost like cheaty. Plus, it's hard. You have to set it to where it is into survival mode if you want to play survival mode. So I'm not going to do quick start. I'm going to go ahead and go to custom world. Oh, also, I suggest playing the tutorials if you're having trouble learning how to do the game. They will teach you what you need to know. But I'm going into custom world, and you can see here we have all the different scenarios. When you do the quick start, it gives you the easy start Earth, and you see you've got this pre-built platform. Same thing with easy start Mars and easy start Alien and easy start Moon. But like I said, they feel really cheaty, so I'm not going to do any of those. You can start in a solar system, and the creators of Space Engineers just recently made it to where you can have planets in the game. And like here you can see they have the habitable planet. The only problem with this is if you start in these two right here, then you are stuck on a planet. Like you can't really go off planet until you get much higher tier like stuff, and it's also much harder to gather resources to build because you have to basically fly over the surface of the planet until eventually you can find like the iron or gold or whatever it is you need to build a specific component, which it's not quite as fun. I've tried playing a couple times in one of these and I just don't like it. And then you also have the Easy Start 1 where you start off with the big red ship and a platform set up next to an asteroid. Then Easy Start 2, you start off in a station. Lone Survivor, it just gives you the platform on an asteroid. I do kind of like the crashed red ship a little bit because it definitely gives a feeling of oh, you screwed up and now you have to work back up to survive. The two platforms is, like it says here, a competitive two-team multiplayer world, but it's really good if you're want to play multiplayer and you have a friend that you just want to bring along, because each one of you can get your own platform to start off and build. But my favorite is always the asteroids, because you start off with this little rescue ship right here, and it's got everything you need to get good to go. So I'm going to pick asteroids, and let's see, we'll name this Asteroid Fun. And then we don't want creative, we want survival, so I'll go ahead and click that. And we will go into the advanced options now. And you can also pick game mode in here. Inventory size, I always keep it at 10 times larger because it really gets old traveling back and forth when you first start the game with an inventory size that's realistic. Because you have to take so many trips, it's no longer fun. Assembler efficiency, I'm going to put at 10. Same thing with refinery speed. And then welding speed and grinding speed I'll max out too, just for the sake of the recordings. But the world size unlimited, this means that I can just keep flying in one direction and it will continue to generate like the universe pretty much. It's where I could fly infinitely if I had the time and resources on my computer. Respawn ship cooldown, I'm not too worried about that because usually we don't die too much unless I spawn next to some enemies, then that's going to be a problem. We'll leave that how it is. View distance, 15 kilometers. That's actually really good. We don't really need anything higher than that because it's just like your settings in Minecraft. The further the view distance is, the more resources it takes up on your computer. But we'll go down here and all these settings look about right. If I was going to a planet, I could actually enable these new settings, like enable cyber hounds. These are actually, they're basically dogs that they put on the surface of planets that are almost like terrorists. They just run into your stuff and then blow up. Permanent death, we don't want that because I want to be able to continue playing, and I'm almost guaranteed to die several times. Enable spectator. I don't even know how to use that yet, so I'm going to leave that how it is. Now in world generator, we can set the asteroid amount to infinite, which means in the infinite universe there will be a huge amount of asteroids. But I want to set the density to high, and you'll see why once we get into the game. Floral density doesn't really matter because we're not going to have any planets. Unfortunately, with the scenario being asteroids, this is before they added the planets, so even though you have a ton of asteroids all over the place, you'll never run into a planet. Or at least I haven't yet. I'd have to look into it to see whether or not you can run into a planet in the asteroids scenario. But let's go ahead and start the game. And I love all these quotes before you load in. The laws of science, or scientific laws, are statements that describe, predict, and perhaps explain why a range of phenomena behave as they appear to in nature. They've actually got quite a few quotes on here, like some by Yuri Gagarin, one of the first people in outer space, the Russian guy, like Robert Heinlein, who else was it? I can't remember all of them, but like a lot of well-known like scientists and space enthusiasts, they'll usually put the quotes up here, and I like that little touch to the loading screen. I've actually had to type in the quotes to learn who they were or more about the individuals into my browser. And here we go. We are in the survival ship. And this is what it looks like. You can hit V to go in between the views of inside the cockpit and third person. And then if you hold down Alt, you can actually look around your ship and rotate the camera. So this is our little survival ship. I like to call it the yellow pill because it is kind of pill shaped. It's really banged up and dented up and everything, and I will get around to fixing that. But unfortunately, this ship, after you either destroy the med station or there are certain things that will make the ship just completely disappear. So you absolutely, before you do anything, want to get established. You want to make sure that this ship is not your primary ship. So what I like to do is we'll go in and I hit G, and this is our toolbar configuration. And down here we have, they've already pre-configured it for you, but a lot of these items I find are in weird places, and really all we're looking for right now are the main tools that your character can use. So I will go ahead and get the welder, the grinder, and the hand drill. And starting off, like here, I will go up to one of these giant asteroids. Like all these asteroids have pretty much everything you need to build like whatever you want in the game. Unfortunately, sometimes you'll get into an asteroid cluster where they do not have like one resource to where you're going to have to go looking off in the distance. Like you can see my crosshairs right there are over another asteroid that's pretty far away. But if I can't find something here, I can fly over to that one. And with that said, though, it's really easy to get lost in this universe. So you want to hit K, and then you can go to your GPS tab right here, and you can make new waypoints. So we're going to go ahead and make one and name it Starter Asteroids. And this way, right at that point, we will always have something that we can see that kind of helps us figure out where everything is. Now, I'm going to really quickly, as long as I don't bang my ship into anything, you can see how this asteroid has like all different colored stuff on it. This orangish colored stuff, orangish red I guess, this is iron. And in order to mine anything, you just go out of your ship, hit X to turn on your jetpack, and then you want to have like Z right here, that's your inertial dampeners. If I turn them off, then I'll just keep floating away. If I turn them on, then I'll stop floating. And you can see I have the backpack here, and as I fly, like it's just doing all the effects of the engines. but if I turn off the inertial dampers, like, the other side won't fire to slow me down. See, there it slowed me down. But we're going to fly up to this iron, and you just have to get the drill out, and in order to find specific resources, if you have your drill out, it will identify them. Like, you can see right here, this is marked as iron. If I fly maybe inside this one, I might be able to find some different resources. Like, it keeps popping up iron at the different spots, just to show me what I got. And we'll turn on the light. Oop, nope, lights. Yeah, there we go. I think this is uranium. It should be. Yep. And now we got uranium. And that's usually what you want to look for first, because you have a very limited amount of power in your ship. So we'll go up and start the drill. And they're flying away. I guess this is the negative part of being out in space, is there is no gravity, so things don't just kind of sit in whatever hole you made, and you constantly have to be hitting T in order to pick them up. But, alright, so I got a few pieces of uranium. Let me make sure that I don't get... Okay. Yeah, it's really easy to get lost and turn around, too, because your spatial orientation is kind of off. But we'll go back in here, and like I said, you definitely want to find uranium first, because your ship has a very limited amount of fuel. We'll go into the refinery, and then just drag the uranium ore straight in, and it automatically just starts making uranium ingots. And these, the reason they're not piling up is because this refinery right here, all in the back of the ship, let me see if I can see it. I don't know if it's covered by parts of the ship or not, but back here you can see we have a conveyor, and it's connected up to the nuclear reactor. It's connected up through tubes and everything to kind of make all of your production facilities like interconnected, and it's automatically taking all that refined uranium and putting it straight into the nuclear reactor. Like, we can go in here and interact with the reactor itself and see that this number right here is actually slowly going up, which is definitely what we want. But the starter ship is definitely awesome because they have everything pretty much like set up perfectly so that you can use it and be good to go without having to worry about, okay, I plumb this through here, how do I get this to go in here, I need this from here to go over to here. They've already done all that for you. But also, like, the damage to the ship, like, I absolutely hated it. It looks disgusting. So you can basically, as you get up to all the blocks with your welder, it will show you what you need as far as components to fix these blocks. Like, I can't fully fix this because I still need one more steel plate to get this corner armor piece, like, 100%. Like, this one right here has all of its pieces, so I can fix it and make it look right. And then, let's see, what about this one? Yeah, and the same with this one, and probably nope, I don't have enough in this. But basically, as your parts take damage, they deform. And the red line right there, that's on the steel plates thing, as soon as it gets below that red line, like, I'll take out my grinder and show you. As soon as it gets below that red line, you can see that it kind of breaks it. And as I continue to grind it, you can see there's different levels to its damage. But I can, since I was grinding it, I was taking the steel plates out of this part, and I can take my welder and put them right back in and fix it again. Also, if you don't like the color yellow, in order to change that, before you place down a block, you hit P, and you get your color picker here. And you can pick between any of these already pre-made colors, and if you want, like, you can switch up their colors and all that stuff. You can reset it back to defaults, you can do white, whatever, and then pick these and hit OK. And whenever you go to place a block, it's going to be whatever color you picked. So I'm going to go back to the yellow one for right now. Let's see what else. So we got uranium going. I think I will go ahead and fix up the ship a little bit, and then I will be right back. Alright, there we go. We got the ship mostly repaired. I actually had to go and mine some iron in order to make some steel plates to fix all these blocks on the outside. But it looks much better than it did before. It's not all dented up and turned into pulverized like metal and everything. Oh wait, I forgot this right here. There we go. But yeah, when I was mining all that iron, I realized to myself, this is going to take forever, and I don't want to continuously keep switching between the drill and going back and forth and back and forth. There's a much better way to do that. And to do that, we can make a mining drill for the ship. Now, normally you would need to get a bunch of components together in order to make the mining drill. You'd have to find all the ores you needed just to make all the components, but this ship itself already has those components in it. And what you can do is you can take, like, here's one of the small thrusters. And this small thruster has quite a few different components. Steel plates, construction components, large steel tubes, thruster components, and so on and so forth. Now, a lot of those components are the same components that are needed for the drill. So, since I've already got 4 rear-facing thrusters, I'm going to get rid of 2 of them and use the resources from them to help me build my drill. Now, one thing you have to be careful of is, like you can see down in the lower left corner, there's a volume on that little information panel. Now, as you grind, you slowly fill up your inventory with the parts that you're grinding. And you want to be careful not to basically grind too much and fill up your inventory, because what'll happen is those parts will just float in space. And with the artificial gravity, the gravity generator thing that's sitting in there on, that means that there's gravity pointing down. So as soon as those parts end up in space, the gravity will affect them by throwing them straight down and basically into oblivion, and you won't be able to get them back unless you fly after them. So you got to be careful about that and watch that volume thing at the lower bottom part. But we'll go ahead and take off this steel catwalk and go into G and go to weapons and tools, and here we have our drill. So basically, in order to orient these are, it's very similar to Empyrion. I'm pretty sure Empyrion got the idea from this game itself too, but you just use the delete, the home buttons, and all that stuff to rotate your blocks. And you cannot place these blocks unless you have that very first component at the bottom. Like, it's asking for 300 steel plates, so you got to make sure to have at least 1 steel plate just to put the frame in. Now we'll go up and we'll see how much of the components, the ones from the thrusters, will fill up. So if I click it real quick, you can see it filled up most of them. I've got 65 of the steel plates, all the construction components, 16 of the steel tubes, all of the large steel tubes, no motors, no computers, and none of the last steel plates. But that's okay though, we have several other parts on the ship that we can take apart that we're really not going to need. So up here at the top, this block is the collector. Now what this thing does is, basically those components I was talking about that would fly off into space, if you drop them here, it will automatically pick them up. It's basically just like a scoop that throws things into your inventory. But again, we don't really need this right now because we have no use for it, so I'm just going to go ahead and break that one up. And then at the bottom of the ship, there is the connector. And this thing's really cool. I do like this part, and it's really useful once you get your like built up final like idea of a ship together, because these connectors are used for, like, say I had this ship and it wasn't a survival ship, it was one I made just to mine. I could take this thing and fly it away from my main ship, and then when I want to fly it back to it and connect it up with this connector here and dump everything that I had mined into the main ship's inventory with this connector. So it's really cool. But again, we don't really need it right now, so I'm just going to go ahead and break it down for parts. And we should have everything that we need for this. Except for the rest of the steel plates. Well, that's okay, I got some iron. Well, no, here. We'll see how many we get from this. Pretty much nothing. I'll put them into this anyways and see how many I need left. I need about 30. If you want to be technical, it's 28, but still. Okay, so, like I said, I got some iron, and I put it in the refinery and it made iron ingots. Now in order to turn these into parts, you go to the production tab, and then right here is the components tab. You can see I have steel plates right here, and in order to make one of them, I just click it once. In order to make 10 of them, I hit control, and it makes 10. And if I wanted to make 100 at a time, I'd hit shift and click on it. But I don't want to do that right now, because I don't want to waste my iron. Also, if you go into all these other tabs like large blocks, like you'll see right here, the airtight hangar door, it'll show you what you need as far as resources, the iron, nickel, and silicone. If you click that, it will automatically make all of the components that you need for the airtight hangar door, to where you can basically click this and the components will show up in the production queue, and you can just take them straight out of there and not have to worry about how many do I need of this, how many do I need of that, because they'll already be in there made for you. But let's see, I got 21, so I need 7 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And we got our 28. I should also put all these extra parts back, because I don't really need them. Right now, at least. And now, I can access everything from the refinery since it's all piped up together. I can actually access the cargo container from here. But if that wasn't the case, I would have to go up here to the cargo container itself and access the inventory, and see how the cargo container's on the top now of this list. Now I can just double click everything into it, whereas I wouldn't have been able to do that from the refinery. But let's go ahead and finish this drill. And oh wait, I never grabbed the steel plates. That's retarded. Oh, and my oxygen is also getting low. As your oxygen depletes, you can see again in the bottom left thing down there, you have energy, oxygen, and hydrogen. Your energy can be replenished from the medical room. You just hit T right here. Oh crap, I need to take care of this first. Meteor storms are no joke. Okay, so I don't know exactly where they're coming from, but meteors every once in a great while will end up showing up and breaking your stuff. So it's a good idea to find cover, and the holes inside these asteroids are perfect for that. So let's just fly in here and hope to God we don't like scrape up the ship any, especially since we have our new mining drill. I'm going to go ahead and rotate the camera a little bit so I can see what's going on. And we need to go down and then forward a little bit more. That should be good. Alright, so now we're safe from the meteor storm. I don't have to worry about that. But in order to refill your oxygen, since we don't have the medical station piped up right now, oh, and I need those steel plates, you basically have to go to the oxygen generator, and right here we have a bunch of oxygen bottles. Now you can drag those into your inventory, and as your oxygen gets lower, it will basically refill it from the oxygen bottles. So that it's really good to have at least an extra one on hand or in your inventory just in case. That way, if you're not paying attention, it'll automatically refill your oxygen for you. Also, we don't really need the automatic rifle right now, or its ammo, because we're not really fighting anybody. Unfortunately, this is a single-player world, not a multiplayer, so I can't really assault anybody's base or anything like that. So, now it's time to go outside of the ship, and I have my lights off. Oh, also, with the lights on, your energy drains a lot faster, so you gotta be mindful of that. But we are finished with the drill now, so I can set this up, and yeah, there's that uranium. I'm gonna go ahead and mine a bit more uranium, since we need to get a good supply of that. Now, you can normally pipe up that drill to go directly into your refinery, but I don't have the resources for that right yet. So what I normally do with this survival ship, since it's going to disappear anyways, is I tear most of it apart and just take and leave this area open so I can easily go into the inventory of the drill and take stuff out and just walk right back here to the refinery and throw stuff in. But we also need to throw... Where is it? There we go. We need to throw all these other components in here so that we have plenty of inventory space. We also don't need the hand drill anymore since the ship has a drill. Oh, another reason too to open this up is right now I can turn my lights on and off. Now if I'm sitting in the seat with the lights off, the light won't shine through the ship if I leave them on as I'm sitting in the seat. It actually illuminates everything with my suit's lights, which is very useful when you cannot build the ship lights yet. And I've also kind of noticed that the ship lights are kind of not that great. Like, they illuminate stuff, but not... Like, if I was this close, it would be over-illuminated and kind of mess with stuff and make it look weird. Now, we have the drill on the front of our ship. In order to set this up to use it, we have to hit G again. You can go and do all blocks and set up the drill in here, and basically make it to where if I hit 1, I toggle the block on and off. But that's kind of a crummy way to do it. I would rather just be able to, so you can turn it, make it use the conveyor systems. You can basically customize whatever you want for settings in the toolbar. But I like to go to weapons and tools and just drag the drill in. And now, as long as I have 1 selected, I can just hit the left mouse button and it automatically turns on and off the drill. That's way more useful than hitting 1 every time, because you might forget about the drill and then leave it on and be like, oh crap, I need to go ahead and turn that off because I'm wasting power. But this is way better using one of these mining drills than it is using the hand drill, because you can collect uranium and all the other ores much faster than you could with the hand drill. Like, it would have taken me forever to dig just this much out right here. Not to mention the fact that your character model can actually get stuck in the holes if you're not doing it right, or if the ore itself clogs up the hole behind you. You kind of have to figure out a way to like get through it, and it sucks if your inventory's full because you gotta dump a lot of stuff and then turn around and pick stuff back up in order to make it a little bit forward through the hole that you've dug. But just in this short amount of time, we'll see how much of the uranium we collected. And we've already got 11.9k of uranium, which is awesome because I didn't even get nearly that much when I was doing it by hand. It would have taken me much longer to get all that. But now we have plenty of uranium processing, and the more uranium the better. I did not mention it earlier, but if you get in the driver's seat, you can see fuel time, and right now I've got fuel time of 9 hours. As you use stuff, like, the fuel time goes down because you're using extra energy to run your machines and everything like that, so the generator has to pump out more as you're working. So you want to try and get enough uranium that you can have that fuel time up to like 4 days, if you can. And so I'm going to go ahead and mine for a little while, and then I will be back. So, talk to you then. Alright, and I'm back. I've collected quite a bit of that gold, and after getting a little turned around in this asteroid, not being able to find my way out, I think I'm finally... Yeah, there we go. That's where we came in, I think. Definitely got to use that Alt key to move the camera, otherwise I would have crashed into walls a long time ago. And I really don't need to take any damage to this thing. It's like my only lifeline for right now. Alright, and we're free, and I believe that meteor storm's probably over. By now, at least. Okay, so... all I found inside this giant asteroid that I took shelter in was iron, gold, and uranium. And we can't really do too much with that, so I'm going to have to check the local asteroids and see what else they have in them. So this one right here, that blue looks like ice. It could be magnesium, actually. But the only way to tell until I get an ore sensor up and running is to get out of the cockpit, go back into the inventory, and get out the hand drill. Because again, like I said, once you have that out, it will actually identify what all of the resources actually are. Alright, so I think this is magnesium. Yep, that's magnesium. There's iron. Do a quick fly around. More magnesium. Ah, silver. We definitely need that. Silver's what you need to build the components for reactors, so that's very important. Then we got silicone up here, and obviously that's what you need for like computer parts. Magnesium, that's basically for all of your explosives and your bullets and stuff like that. So this asteroid right here actually has quite a good haul. It's got 3 of the other things that we will need for construction. Where was that other one? Yeah, wait. Crap. I thought there was another asteroid around here. It's really hard to get or really easy to get turned around, because there is no, like, up and down orientation in space. You just kind of have to go with it. But I don't know what these other 3 asteroids have. I think that was it that was in this asteroid cluster right here. So, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and collect some of that magnesium, silver, and the silicone real quick, and be right back. Alright, so I have mined quite a bit of material from these asteroids. I've got plenty of uranium. Of course, you always pick up stone. Gold, silver, silicone, and then I've got a bunch of it in the cargo container because I can't fit any more in the refinery right now. But yeah, we got more silicone, stone, iron, and magnesium down here. Now, it is quite boring watching someone mine, so I think I'm going to end the episode here, and yeah, probably in the time in between episodes, look at the rest of these asteroids in this little starter asteroid area, and see if I can find the rest of the, materials I need to make whatever it is I'm going to make. But till then, guys, I will see you in the next episode. I hope you enjoyed the first episode of Space Engineers. Hopefully we can get started building the actual ship we're going to use for the entire, series, but till then, we're just going to have to deal with the yellow pill. But I will talk to you guys later. Have a good one.